Well, I guess I'm dating a villager or sleeping with one. What? He dumped me? Don't click away, because I need your help in encouraging grandparents to stay mentally active through gaming. Thanks for joining the mission at Gaming for Grandparents. And please let your grandparents know it is free to subscribe. So let's get into this video and see how many grandparents we can help. So after my 9,000 block trip to find a desert temple, I finally made it home and I worked on the balcony and the deck on the back of the house, and I lost that footage. So I'm still continuing with my finishing up my house today by adding the roof, and the first thing we have to do is cover up the stairway that goes to the observation deck. Now with this almost complete, I'm going to have to put some lights on in the inside of this so that I can keep mobs from spawning on this staircase. I'm looking around to find where I want to put these torches at, and I decided to drop down a flight and start putting them under here instead of up there. So I'm almost at the bottom. In fact, I just made it to the bottom. Now I'm going to have to create a doorway in order to get out. Now I am completely turned around, so I'm not sure exactly what direction I'm going to punch this door, but apparently this direction works. Alright, so that doorway works good enough for me. Now when I look up here, I just see a mammoth brown blotch. I'll decorate that later, and it'll actually be an interesting decoration that almost turns this into a Christmas tree. But now it's time to get the walls up so I can put the roof on, because I do want an extra space up here just to add some different things. So this will end up being a 4-story house complete with attic space and a basement. And now I've put the last block for the walls, and now I'm going to just put the windows wherever those lights are on the floor. So I decide that I'm wanting to put fences into the windows, and then I decide not to go with the dark wood fence, but instead change it to the lighter birch tree fence, just to give it a different look. I'm not sure I like it, but I'm going with it for now. And fortunately, having these lights on the floor really helps me line things up and stay symmetrical. So that definitely makes it just a ton easier. And I literally run over and stand on the light and then place the fence, create the window, and place the fence. So there you have it. We have a 3-block high wall here, and now I can add the roof. And oh my goodness, I have not slept in several days, so there are a bunch of the phantoms flying above my head. What did Luna call them? Nargles? Yeah, when you don't sleep you have nargles. And look at this, I have a roommate. Apparently I'm now dating this villager because we're sleeping together. So I thought, because my skin color has purple in it, and we have a bunch of the lilac bushes and azalea bushes that have purple in them, maybe I should make my roof purple. Yeah, this is a mistake. Everything you see me doing right this second is going to be completely torn down. So I really like the simplicity of the design. I like the type of block that I'm using, but when I step back, I'm not as happy with it. But I finish the roof and I go up here and I decide to place my beacon. You have to use gold blocks, emerald blocks, diamond blocks, iron blocks, or netherite blocks to build a beacon. And it's best if you can have a beacon with as few as 9 blocks, but to have all the resources of a beacon, you want to, I think it's like 40 blocks or something like that you want to use. So I just use beacons. Well, I'm in creative mode, so I don't need speed or haste or any of that. I'm mainly building it for the purpose of having that visual, or that added visual, to find my house after 9,000 block trips. And there we have it. We have our beacon. The moon's coming up, sun's going down. So when I step back and look at the observation deck with that added wall, I realize that it is not symmetrical at all. So I'm going to add some blocks to get it to be more symmetrical, because it was just off. And it is so dark that I decide to go ahead and hang the earrings or lanterns. And as you can see, a spider already spawned under there, and that's why I would put the lights up, is because spiders will spawn underneath that. So now I've moved back and realized I really don't want this bush covering over this staircase. So I decide I'm going to add a roof onto this deck and just use some slabs and some staircases to create the roof here. Initially I stopped at just covering the hole where the stairs are, but that looks stupid when you go back, so I went back and went the full length of the deck instead. And again, I'm one of those people that things have to be symmetrical. I cannot handle the asymmetrical stuff most of the time. I like the design that the stairs gave. Now you can see the balcony that I made for the second floor and the deck, complete with a bar, a umbrella table, chase lounges, smoker, cooker, and a fire pit. But as I'm looking at this, that purple is disgusting. Yeah, that's not working for me. It just stands out like a sore thumb. So every one of those purple blocks has to go, because it is just not working with the vibe of the deck and the balcony. And I really like that vibe that I have on those spaces. So I'm just pretty much just frozen in place, because I realize how much work I'm going to have to do to tear down that roof and replace it. But it's also a case of, well, what blocks do I want to replace it? And I also do like the fact that I did do the brown walls on top, because they don't stand out and smack you in the face of, hey, I've got another story here. And it doesn't take away from that balcony and the deck, especially the deck. I really like how that deck is designed. So here we go with me removing every single piece of block here. Fortunately, it didn't take too long to remove this. I still like the design that I had for the roof, but I just didn't like the block color. So this maroon colored block kind of works better with that brick on the chimney. And I believe it's the mangrove block or the mangrove tree. So any rate, so I'm doing the stairs upside down again, and then I will flip them as I go up. But it just kind of adds to this decorative siding of looking like eaves. So I really like it when you can get the stairs to turn upside down. Now I'm going to have to fix the chimney and raise it up above the roof so it doesn't catch the roof on fire in theory. But I'll finish the roof first. So all the eaves are now built. I can get going with that. And I decided to strip the mangrove tree. And this is part of the crimson area of the nether. So we have that crimson soil on netherrack there. Sorry, I can't remember what it's called, but that's okay. It's just a block that has texture in it that's going to bring texture to the roof, and that's what I'm looking for, is just having a little bit more design in the roof. So I circled the roof as well as the observation wall with that crimson netherrack. And now I'm going along and adding the strip log, but of course I have to make sure the grain is going the right way. Now I'm back to building up the sides of the roof and having fun trying to get those blocks to place correctly. I really do like how this design looks and the textures, and even the fact that I'm going up like this to where this is another space where I could put a door there and have another area where I can stand up there on the roof and shoot skeletons or other mobs. But about to place the last block here. And of course, you know, stairs being stairs. Now it's time to do something with this brown behemoth. And I know I could have done different textured blocks in the wall to break up all that brown and that solidness, but I kind of figured I was going to do this type of vine, and just experiment with vines, and I just threw my vines. So let me go over, grab my vines, and get back up there and add these to the roof here. But I'm only going to add the green ones on the outside here. I'm going to do something a little bit different closer to the wall of the stairs there. And that is putting up some of this red vine that you'll find in the nether. And I believe our next video is going to be in the nether. But I don't want them to be symmetrical. This is the one time where I don't feel the need to be symmetrical, is when it comes to vines. I'm putting up some of these lighted vines that will bring some light into this dark space. But as you can see, the vines are already starting to grow, and I'm just going to let them grow naturally. I will put string up later to stop them from growing further than I want them to grow. Alright, so obviously I don't want that staircase just wide open like that. I do have to cover it because when it rains, that rain will just come right into that hole. Even though it won't accumulate, because rain doesn't accumulate in Minecraft. It rains like crazy, but you never get any puddles. So we'll start with our little roof here to cover the deck, and just using the half slabs, and it doesn't matter whether I use the top slabs or the bottom slabs. I'm not putting anything else on these one direction or another, so it doesn't matter whether I use the top slabs or the bottom slabs. Alright, now it's time to put the post up and the railing up. So these are all fences, so you don't go into Minecraft and look for posts or railings. You just select the fences. So I go ahead and finish up the railing here. And I no sooner get all of this done than it starts raining, so I'm glad of that. But I decide to go to sleep. And what do you know? I've been replaced. I have been dumped. Can you believe it? He's no longer my lover. And he kicked me out of my own bed in my own house. Well, I got the cure for that. Bunk beds. And I'm going to sleep up here on this top one because I know the villagers can't get to it. Yes, I'm bitter. What's your point? This is actually the better bedroom and I like it better anyway, so it's not a major loss to be sent over to this room. But at any rate, whatever. So as I place this red wood on the lower deck and on the balcony, I realized that these villagers have moved into my house because of the different stations that I've placed around the house as decorations. So the villagers have changed from their jobs in the villager house to the jobs inside my house. And that looks so much better. And yes, the red railings makes that balcony pop, so I am going to replace the deck as well. The roof section kind of blends in, but that's okay. I like that it's different and it doesn't stand out. But I am going to have to put some more logs around the top there because that birch wood is popping too much and it's boring. So as you can see, I've put potted plants up, and this composter is why I have a farmer in my house. This smoker is why I have a butcher in my house. Yeah, the fire pit here, which is, supposed to be my grill. And I even put a bucket of water up there, and then I have the bar right there with a couple of stools. And yeah, so I just added some barrels, so I think I have a fisherman that has moved in because of the barrels. I'm trying to get this lantern. Pick up that lantern. At any rate, so I've got to put the railing down, but also a gate down here so that I can walk out and around the house there. So there's the gate. And continuing with the railing all the way around. And I do like that it kind of blends in a little bit and doesn't smack us in the face and takes away from anything else that I've decorated. So I do like it. It works better with that brick. Yeah, that just looks better to me. And see how the vines are growing too? But I definitely like this balcony and deck and using that redwood. But like I said, I still have to wrap that birch wood on the top floor there with the dark wood. So I'm going to do that real quick. So of course I'm fighting with the grain of the wood, which is typical and frustrating. Alright, so now all of that is wrapped up. But I think I'm going to move the railing out and place it on this dark wood here, just like it is on the bottom or on the deck and the balcony. So now I'm going to have basically a walk around porch here that will circle the entire house. Yes, even though it's dark, I do like that better. So I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And it means I also have to fix the roof. But I'm going to go ahead and place a couple of lanterns up, just so I have a little bit of light here, and potentially the mobs won't spawn on it. So I'm looking at the sides of the house and I see how boring they are and how flat they are, and they need some texture and some personality added to them. So I've got to figure out what I want to do with them. I decide to drink a night vision potion so I can see the space even better. And I love how those vines are draping. And then at the front of the house, I'm going to go ahead and add a door here so that we can come out here to this front balcony as well. So I decided to go with the mangrove doors because I think that's a good look. And then I decided to add the railings all the way around the house on this attic level that we're on. So by adding that extra log, it gives me the extra block that I need to make this a wraparound porch, but it also means that I'm going to have to extend the back side here, the roof as well as the fence. So now I don't need a gate because it's completely wrapped around. I go ahead and add this fence post down into that block just to add some decorations, add some lanterns, but I am going to have to extend the roof a little bit because that's not working for me. But I also decided to add a second door on this side. And the reason why I did that is so that I can actually enclose a space on the inside for the villagers to sleep. So I'm going to have some more beds up here. In the meantime, I'm going to add some potted plants here where you put that thing down, and you put that there, and then you add the torch flower. And I think that looks really good. And then I think I'll add a couple of chairs up here as well, but nothing too fancy on this deck. So of course I have to step back and look, see what I see. I really do like that. I think that works for me. But I'm still thinking I may have to extend the roof, but maybe not. Alright, now I've got to figure out what I want to do on this side here, because it is just way too boring and plain. So I think I will start with a deck and just bring a deck out a few blocks, not as large as the back deck, but sizable enough, but it'll be more long than it will be wide. And now add the stairs to go up to this deck from the front of the house. And yeah, this is working for me so far. I may add, and probably will add, floor to ceiling windows in this section of the house and on the other side as well, because with this deck added on, the windows kind of look odd. So, but I'll probably do that at another time. I'm just going to concentrate on some of the accessorizing on this deck for right now. So once again, we're going to wrap the birch with the logs and then put our railings on. Alright, finished up with the railings. I'm going to leave that for now. I want to add some more depth to the side of this house. So I'm adding these upside down staircases to give it some eaves. Then I'm going to add some posts going from floor to ceiling around the upper windows, just because I think that will add some decorative value, and I think it again keeps that from being so flat and boring. So yeah, I like that. Now it's time to add some ivy on the side. So again, I have some type of decoration falling off the side here, and also placed on the back side. And I think it's vines, not ivy, but it's the same thing. So that will drape down and cover up that gaping hole underneath the house. But I'll go ahead and add some of these little light vines So at night it will actually just have a bunch of light under there, and as you can see, the vines are already starting to grow. But I think I'm going to add to this by going ahead and putting some of this ivy down here on this dirt to conceal it. Alright, so that's going to work. That will all grow in and cover everything up. Not sure what I'm going to do underneath the balcony yet, but for now, I'm liking this. It's still a little flat. Need to add a little bit more, but it's coming along. So instead of surrounding the windows, I'm going to go ahead and put these around these decorative blocks that are redstone blocks. Yeah, that looks better. It gives it some texture, some depth. So I like that. I end up changing out the gold block beacon for an emerald beacon because that yellow just doesn't work. But now I'm going and putting some string underneath these vines because I think that's a good spot for them to stop growing, because I don't need it to be a full draping. So I'll place these on the green vines as well to try and stop them from growing too long and stop them from being even. And since it's still a little bit dark up here on the roof, I'm going to add some lanterns there. But I really like how that's turning out. It looks good. Now it's time to fix the chimney because that is not up to code. So I'm going to have to extend it beyond the roof line. And that is going to mess up the roof right here. But that's okay. It'll be blocked off by the chimney. And let's face it, all chimneys mess up the roof. So these are brick fences that I'm using. And then I will add some iron fence to give it that decorative feel. But first I want to add another fireplace in here so that I get the smoke coming up out of the chimney. So we'll place the grate there, if you will, a fireplace, and now I have the smoke coming up through the chimney again. So now we can finish the top of the chimney and get this to where it looks good on top here. Just use a combination of iron fence and brick fence. Okay, I like that. And it looks good with that red roof. We're going to go with this. Yeah, I like it. Alright, so it's time to go with the garden side of the house and add some decorations here. And see what I can do on this side to make it spruced up and not so boring. I'll do pretty much what I did on the other side on this side. Just adding those poles there, give it a little bit of texture. Yeah, that bathroom window missing is a problem because it makes it not symmetrical. So I've got to fix that real quick. So we have a faux bathroom window. It only looks like a window on the outside. There's no window on the inside. Because you don't need to see me shower. Besides, I think that literally would open up directly into the shower. And of course we want to add this log going around the house to give it that additional texture. Now we need to add some chairs along the deck on the side of the house. Yep, and little tables to set drinks down. And little lounge chairs. I feel like I'm decorating this much more like it's a deck on a boat. But whatever. It still looks good enough. I'm just placing down all the post for the tabletop. And yes, I'm very much aware the tabletop has a hole in it. But that's where the post is, so that's okay. Your drink will not fall through the hole. And of course we have to put the lanterns on there. And even though your parents don't want you to run over the furniture, I did it anyway. So I do like having the gate there. And of course now I'm standing on the bar. Actually a stool on the bar. But yeah, this all looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. Now I'm going to go into the second floor here and go to bed. Regardless of the fact that I've been dumped out of my own bed. I'm not bitter. Really, I'm not. Okay, now it's time to do something about the inside of the house here. Let's just look around. I really love how that ceiling is decorated. But I'm going to just place a bunch of beds right here, right next to this door. So that if I have any more villagers moving in, maybe they'll come up here to sleep instead of trying to come into my bedroom. Now I'm also thinking I'm going to put a wall here to kind of enclose this bedroom space. I may add some other decorations later, but for right now, I'm just going to put this wall up so that it appears to be a bedroom. And I don't know if I'll go all the way up to the ceiling or if I'll just go to this space here. But I'm going to go ahead and include this door into that space. So I have one door that will go to the rest of the space, and then one door that only goes into those villager beds. But I really like how this ceiling turned out. It really looks cool. But of course it needs lanterns, so let me just fly around here and add these lanterns real quick. But I just like how it looks. It's just looking cool. And I'll add some lanterns around this big brown blob. I'll add some more decorations to this space once I decide what I want to do with it. But I decide that I don't like these wood fences, so I'm replacing them with glass. And I think this is the better choice, definitely. And of course I have this type of roommate too. And he's going to just drop that grass block somewhere. Very annoyingly. But yeah, it's a huge space. Not sure what I'm going to do, but I think I'll put these mangrove doors here to match with the front doors. Yeah, I really love these decks, and I really think these doors are good. I may change them in the rest of the house too. I'm unsure at this time. Alright, so let's just take a look at it. I had to put a fence gate there so that I could get out. For whatever reason, I wasn't able to get out the other way. But yeah, look at the ivy growing, or the vines growing. And the Christmas tree now covering that brown blob. Yes, I do like this. I think this is good. I may change my drapes inside the house from the purple to this maroon as well. I'm undecided on that. Yes, this is much better, less boring. I like this. I may end up changing a few things here and there, but for the most part, this looks much better. Let me know if you like this too. I really want to encourage grandparents to stay mentally active through gaming. I want to mentally challenge them with strategy games and task management games and creative games like MineCraft. So if you appreciate my effort in trying to encourage your grandparents to stay mentally young, please let them know about this channel. And let them know it is free to subscribe. There's no cost. And again, thanks for watching Gaming for Grandparents.